This is the One to Another podcast. I'm Joanne Petrie. Today I want to talk about 10 steps to self-esteem. When we are in the middle of grief or coming out of grief, one of the things that grief affects is our self-esteem. We thought we knew who we were when we had a loss. It can be any kind of a loss. It can be a loss of a job, it can be a loss of a friend, it can be a loss of a loved one. Oh, there's so many things that cause grief. And so when we are in the middle of it and starting to come out of it, one of the things we have to look at is, who am I anyway? If we look ourselves in the mirror, we go, mirror, mirror on the wall, who's the fairest of them all? And we look at ourselves and think, boy, I don't think there's anything fair in me. I feel like I've just been through some kind of a knothole and I'm coming out and I don't know who I am. And I have found that as we go through the process, we may lose some of our identity as we're grappling with change and disappointment. And yet, as we come through the process, and we get sort of on the other side, even a little bit, we realize that we've changed. We are more compassionate. We become better listeners. We are more sensitive to other people around us when they start talking about a challenge. We find ourselves being more generous with our time and with our energy and with our resources. So as we're grappling with this whole thing about who am I, and we may be putting on different masks thinking, oh, this is what I look like, yay. Oh, no, that's not me. And we put out another one. No, that's not me either. But we're trying to look at who we are and what is our value in life, and to know ourselves. As I've done this for myself, as I've gone through loss again, and my husband has recently died, I said that I had to take some time to commit myself to think about, okay, Joanne, who are you anyway? And so this is something I wrote, and we'll look at it for a few minutes. And you can put your name here if you want to be thinking about who you are as you are walking through loss and gaining aspects of who you're becoming. My name is Joanne, and here are the commitments that I'm giving to myself. I choose to believe that I owe the world. The world doesn't owe me. I choose to create rather than complain. And the only way that I have been able to understand who I am and who I'm becoming is I've had to begin to write almost every day 10 things for which I'm thankful. Because it's so easy when we are learning to create a new me in some ways. It's easy to become a groaner. And if you can take the time every day just to quickly, or sometimes think about it for a while, is to write down your blessings and seeing what you really are thankful for. I remember writing down these things. I'm thankful for others doing landscaping. Since I've moved to my new place, I don't have to take care of the landscaping. I can still take care of my flowers, but I don't have to be in charge of calling the landscaper to do things. I am thankful for friendship cards that come in the mail. I love the smell of roses. I'm thankful that I can sing and pray in my car. I'm thankful that being kinder than necessary is something that I choose to do. I was thankful for peppermint extract. I was spending some time writing notes. Even this morning I was writing notes. I'm learning to try to keep in step with my own rhythm, not with someone else's. I'm thankful for big joys and small pleasures. I'm thankful for a lovely necklace that I wear now that reminds me of the love and care of my husband. I was thankful for an invitation to speak at a conference. I'm thankful for a lovely bouquet of flowers that someone brought to me. And the last one I wrote was I was thankful for true and lasting values. So when I'm starting to look at who I am and know myself, I choose to create rather than complain, and I will not blame others. No one is to blame. The more I blame others, the less I feel that I can move forward. Blaming others is like swimming in circles in a mucky pond. No matter how hard I swim, I end up in the same place, covered with muck. And I don't like to be in that place. I will love from my strengths, not my insecurities. I'm going to talk a little more about that. I will read good books that give me life, insight, wisdom. I will not fill every moment with my smartphone. How can I think for myself if I'm obsessed with reading the thoughts of everyone else? I will not avoid awkward situations by escaping into my phone and not facing life. I will listen more than I talk. I will show people that they are important by asking good questions, putting my phone away, and just being present with them. You know, one of the gifts I give myself that helps me know myself is every day I go to a favorite Starbucks and I have 1 cup of hot chocolate. That's it. And I have found that when I go into Starbucks, I put my phone away. Even if my phone is going to ring for something important that's going to happen at hospice, I figure I can go in there, order my drink, get it, and not be on my phone so I can talk face to face to the people that are serving me and thank them and find out about their lives and what they're doing and if there's a place where they might need some encouragement. I do that by choosing to listen more than I talk. It's hard for you to believe that, but I can. I will serve the world by being the best of who I am. As I know, my future does take time, and I'm not going to stop moving forward. I'm going to keep the hope that there's good things ahead. I will choose community over isolation. I'm not alone in this life. I live in a community. I have friends. I will sing loudly, dance unashamedly, live unapologetically, while being faithful to do the small tasks in my life daily. Now, I have learned to know myself. And in learning to know myself, I was able to put these things down. And maybe some of them you want to use that you can know yourself better. And then the second one is understand what makes you feel great. If you think about it, what is it every day when you get up and say, "Good morning, Lord. This is your day. How am I going to live this out today?" You know, I believe that you need to understand what makes you feel great. What makes me feel great is I love having time alone with the Lord in prayer. Another thing that makes me feel great is when somebody says they're going to do something and they do it. That makes me feel really great. Also makes me feel real great when I can walk. The community I'm living in now has wonderful walking paths, and I just love the idea that anytime I want to, I can walk. And so we have to think about the things that make us feel great. And then I think you have to recognize the things that make you feel down. You know, what are your strengths that you bring to life? What are your weaknesses that you bring to life? I wrote down some the other day. I could write a whole lot. But my strengths are that, I love my daughter and appreciate our relationship. I do take good care of myself. I have a strong friend group. I am learning, it's taking a lot of work, how to be financially stable. My strengths are that I feel I'm confident, motivated, and energetic. Now, when I look at what gets me down, is that I have found that I have lost documents lately. And when I lose something and I try to find it, I find that I spend so much time looking for something that's lost. If I could have just remembered where I put it in the first place, I wouldn't have spent so much time looking for it. But that's a place where things get me down, is when I lose something and I can't find it. I also know that when I get really tired, I can get grumpy. And I don't like to be grumpy, but I've realized that when I am not up, that I can be grumpy. I sometimes get anxious over how many hours and how many miles I drive per day. So those are some of the things that get me down. And then you may have a whole lot of lists of things that get you down. But I think we have to face these things and say, okay, this is where I need to grow. This is who I am. This is my value. This is who I am. This is where I need to move forward. And then maybe set some goals to achieve what you want. Maybe one of your goals is just like I was telling you who I am, is you want to read good books. Or maybe you want to take the time to get to know a neighbor. Or maybe one of your goals for the summer is just to go and visit someone you haven't seen for a long time. I think it's important to make small goals. I try to make small goals that I could do in 30 days, and then I found out that I can do a small goal, so then my next goal is just a little bit larger. Procrastination is the assassination of motivation, and we can procrastinate about everything and say, I'd like to set a goal, but I never do it. And I have found if I can set goals, even if it's for 30 days, and see them accomplished, then I believe that I can continue to grow. And number 5 is developing trusting friendships that make you feel good. We need to have people in our lives that help us see who we are, want to spend the time with us, and develop a friendship that's full of trustworthiness, honesty, integrity, balance. And those kind of friendships help us feel good about who we are, and it helps their self-esteem and our self-esteem when we have trust. And I think number 5 is important. Oh, sorry, it's number 6. Don't be afraid to ask for help. You know, sometimes we feel so important. We feel it's so important for us to do everything ourselves. And you know what I found out? Asking for help is important in developing friendships and finding out what somebody else does well, and ask them to help you develop that in your life. I think we need each other. And when we need each other, we can reach out and say, hey, could you help me with this? I know that we got to get rid of fear, thinking that when we ask somebody, they'll say no. Well, if they say no, go look for somebody else. Stand up for your beliefs and values. That's number 7. And I know that there's things that I believe, and I stand up for them, and I want you to hear them. I believe that you should always leave friends and loved ones with caring and loving words, for we don't know what tomorrow is going to bring. I believe that sometimes when I'm angry, I have the right to be angry, but that doesn't give me the right to be cruel. I believe that no matter how good a friend is, they're going to hurt you every once in a while. And there is when we learn the gift of forgiveness. I believe that true friendship continues to grow, even over distance and time. I believe that you can do something in an instant that will bring you heartache for a lifetime. I believe it's taking me far too long to become the person I want to be. I believe that you can keep going long after your mind and body says you've had enough. I believe that we are responsible for what we do, no matter how we feel. I believe that heroes are the people who do what has to be done when it needs to be done, regardless of the consequences. I believe that money is a very poor way of keeping score. I believe that with those I care about, I can do anything or nothing and still have the best of times. Now, I don't know, you may not believe what I believe, but I know that we have to stand up for beliefs and values. I think number 8 is important, just to help someone else. I believe that we need to help someone else because that helps us release some of the pain and some of the heartache that we have when we can reach out and do something for someone else. Number 9 is I believe you need to take responsibility for your own actions. Yes, I did that. I'm sorry. Will you please forgive me? And I think we have to be willing to take responsibility for your own action. And then I said in my own values of myself, take good care of yourself. If you don't do it, no one's going to do it. I have something that someone wrote. The bottom line is no one's coming. No one. No one's coming to push you. No one's coming to tell you to turn the TV off. No one's coming to tell you got to get out the doors and exercise. Nobody's coming to tell you to apply for that job that you've always dreamed about. Nobody's coming to write that business plan for you. It's up to you. And because you're only ever going to do the things that you feel like doing right now or that feel good right now, unless you understand that you've got to parent yourself. You've got to push yourself. There's a tremendous amount of liberation that comes when you accept the fact that you're always going to need to give yourself a push. So, as you do that and push yourself to begin to understand who you are and what you're becoming, I wanted to read something that Maria Shriver wrote. She said, "Here I sit in my happily ever after phase. The bow is not wrapped around a couple, it's wrapped around me. My love source is everywhere. My adult children, their partners, my grandchildren, the squeals of delight when they see me fill me up, my extended family and friends, my God, they are all source of my happy ever after." So many need an updated image of happy ever after, an updated storyline. One where one can stand at the center, glowing and being fully alive and letting love in from multiple sources. This is a new story. I get love from you. I get love from my community. I get love from my work and from strangers in the coffee line. There may not be a special someone, but that doesn't make me less special or less of a someone. I stand in this new chapter, bursting forth with life, with love. My mission and my feet are firmly planted on the ground. I look up to my God, and I look around at nature. I close my eyes and give thanks to all who love me and those yet to be. I say, I'm happily alive. It doesn't always take two, it just takes me. So maybe this time you're going to take a little bit of a look at yourself and know yourself just a little better. Enjoy some time with yourself and just take one more step in feeling like I am happily moving forward to a new place in my life.